Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the Generation Revival podcast. We are with our second ever guest, but we got Bryce here. What's going on, y'all? But we got Jack's Day in the Life here with us today. So, welcome, bro.
What's up, Paul? What's up, Bryce? Good to meet you guys. Hey, everybody.
Let's go. Yeah, good to see you guys. We actually literally just met, so we had Luke come in here too. It's our first time meeting, but we had a podcast earlier, so we've been able to get to know each other a bit more. But yeah, that's kind of what this is going to be about. We want to just get to know your story, kind of your testimony, kind of how you got to where you are today. And yeah, so if we want to just dive straight into it.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys already know we had to give him some raw milk
Where'd
as
my
well.
cup go?
Oh no, this cup is gone, bro. This is his first time ever having raw milk, so
Cheers to that.
Scale 1 to 10. How is it?
Some pretty good milk, dude.
yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It tastes like whole milk, honestly.
No, it tastes better, bro.
On a milk scale,
Like
it's a 10 out of 10.
creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so we're trying to slowly get the world off pasteurized milk and on the full raw milk wave, starting with Jack. So, but yeah, without further ado, I say we just dive straight into it. So yeah, Jack, we'd love to kind of hear about, obviously everyone's story starts with their upbringing and their family and just everything else there. So what kind of was your upbringing like in terms of faith or just like anything in general?
Yeah. I'm going to start by saying, dude, getting in this seat, you kind of feel more pressure over here. I felt a little less pressure sitting over there. I feel
Bro,
the middle.
that's what I'm saying.
Seat, you feel like you're getting interviewed, man.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yep.
But yeah, upbringing, dude. Bryce, you and I just talked. Paul, you and I just talked. Big families, a lot of brothers. I can say the same thing. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, also the shortest. My brothers are 6'7", 6'4", and 6'3", respectively.
Yeah, which is surprising. I was about to say you're tall.
Yeah.
So
I'm 6 foot, but when you're with a family that's bigger than you, it's like, wow. But regardless, dude, love my brothers, super close to my family. Everything we did growing up was together. My dad and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and cousins, very involved in my childhood. My parents made it very evident that family was super important. And so was faith. And growing up, we went to church and everything. And as a kid, I don't think you kind of have an understanding of church. You kind of just, you're there, you're going with your family. But we always prayed before every meal as a family. And that was a huge part of my upbringing. Even to this day, if we're ever together, out at a restaurant, at home, no matter where we are holding hands around the table and praying, regardless of the environment.
love that.
And that's something like I do to this day too, which I love. Like my friends and I, if we go get food out or if we get food in, we're cooking together, I'm like, before we eat, we are holding hands and we're praying if you were Jack Nassif every single time. We're going to say a blessing over the food. Other parts of childhood, man, what else can I tell you? Very sport oriented, just like you were talking about. Big basketball family. My dad was a big Dayton Flyer fan where we're from. Dayton's a basketball town. I was a super short kid growing up, so I was always back against the wall, but loved the sport so much, had that hustle grind mentality. My brothers and I would play together. We'd go watch basketball games together. Went to Catholic private school growing up, so I was fortunate to be around high value, like good moral individuals. I was in a really good crowd. Very privileged and fortunate to have grown up the way I did. Most people aren't that lucky, right?
Definitely
And
not.
I give thanks to God for that every single day. I'm like, thank you. I don't know why you put me in this position, but I'm going to do my best to act with the gifts I have and the blessings you've given me because you've given them to me for a reason. That was something I struggled with too. Like just why me? Why is this person in such a worse off position mentally, spiritually, even physical health? There's so many factors that go into it. Why did you give me so many blessings? I feel so blessed and grateful every single day. And it feels unfair sometimes. And, my dad, growing up to all of us, he would tell us, like, just count your blessings every day. That's the most bare minimum thing you can do because you have those gifts for a reason. And that's kind of the foundation of my prayer and faith life is it was just so routine and it was so obvious to me that we were blessed. I went to grade school, right? I said in a private Catholic school. High school, I went to a school in the inner city in Dayton, and it wasn't like crazy or anything, but you could definitely see some other kids that were less fortunate. And when you're aware of that at a younger age, that kind of opens your eyes. Like, okay, I can do these things with my family, but some other kids can't. Like, I have a ride to school and practice every day. Some other kids struggle to get rides to school. Like one of my teammates, we had a basketball practice in the snow one time, and he was late, like by an hour. He runs in the door, like freaking out in a panic, in his Tim's backpack, full sweats. He's like, Dom, like, where were you, bro? He's like, I had to run from home.
Oh my gosh.
No
Yeah.
car.
To practice.
Yeah, jeez.
So it was just like things like that. I'm like, dude, if you ever need a ride, you let me know. Like, I'm not letting you run
Oh, so
to
this is like
practice.
high school, like
This was
you're
my-
driving.
This is my junior year of high school. My buddy
Dang,
ran
bro.
to school in the
Yeah.
snow because he didn't have a family with a car that could get him there. So that, like, just being grateful for what I have, that was a huge part of my upbringing because I was fortunate to have a bunch of gifts.
Mm.
Yeah. And our upbringing
Yeah.
is so important. Like it's like if that foundation is set on good values, good morals, you guys have good habits, like praying before meals, just little stuff like that goes so far. It's like, and having that spirit of gratitude in your day-to-day life, like that can just not only inspire so many people, but it just allows you to grow closer in your faith too. And I love what you said about the story where your teammate literally had to run to practice. Like I think it's so easy to get like caught up in our own privilege and blessings, and I find myself guilty of this a lot too. Like just not being appreciative enough of having the little things, like being able to drive to work or school or wherever that is, and just having little things like that. So I think that's so important. Like just to always have that spirit of gratitude.
Yeah.
And so on the topic of basketball, like did you have a favorite team growing up?
Dayton Flyers, college. Like I liked Kobe Bryant. He
Yeah.
was like my favorite player growing up.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Kobe. Yeah.
Sir.
But I never had like an NBA team. Just the Dayton Flyers I loved because
Yeah.
it was all the town had. Loved
Yeah.
basketball though.
And you played throughout high school?
Played throughout high school, and then I went into college as a manager at Clemson, and then I ended up walking onto the team, and I was on the team for 2 years at Clemson.
Hmm.
And that's a whole different story we can get into, but that's not.
We'll dive
for
into
today.
it.
Unless we
maybe,
want to.
yeah, we can dive into it a little bit. We can
Yeah.
definitely dive into it.
Something else I really wanted to touch on too.
Yeah, yeah.
Before you asked me a question, if
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
going to,
Yeah, go for it.
was I have to give a lot of credit to my father.
Hmm.
My dad really taught me and all my brothers to be selfless. And everything he did in his life was in his life currently to this day, like it's for others, like whether it's for the betterment of our family or just people in the community. He is a big believer in bringing up his community and giving away credit and passing out credit where credit's due. Never, ride in the high horse. He would love to make someone else's life better, giving someone else credit for doing so, and him just lay back behind the scenes. So I think that's super powerful, and just having that humble approach to life, but also living with that higher integrity, like having that character of integrity is so important. And like you said earlier, Paul, we were talking about pride earlier, Bryce, and how when you're posting yourself on social media, you can feel a bunch of pride because you're putting yourself out there. Like you are the product. You're marketing yourself. So it's hard to not get prideful. Even if your intentions are elsewhere, like your whole platform is you.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%. And that's beautiful. And it's cool to hear like your story and kind of being able to witness that within your content of what you're describing, of that gratitude, that positivity, and being able to see kind of what led you to get to that. And I think something that I also wanted to bring up is obviously like something that I experienced as I grew up in the faith, right? Actually Catholic as well. Where do you think, like, did that affect you with your faith? Obviously there's so much fruits with it, where you're growing up in such a great culture, and then obviously you're exposed to that other culture. Was there a time where you kind of wavered or fell off of that?
yeah, absolutely. I was in an amazing relationship with a high school girlfriend that went into college, and it was long distance, so it faded away. And to be honest with you guys, I was not a good boyfriend the last like year and a half of that. I had fallen into a trap, and that's where he said, where did I fall off? My eyes and my soul and my heart became solely focused on, I want to be a Division I basketball player. That's all I cared about. It was because growing up, it's like, you're never good enough. You're too small. You're not fair skinned. Like you have light color skin. You can't compete. You're not going to make it. So all I wanted to do my entire childhood was go be a Division I basketball player, to prove everybody wrong, to prove to myself that I could do it, to make my dad happy, to show my brothers like anything's possible. Like even my buddies back home, like you can do this. During that process of grinding to be a basketball player, I didn't give attention to my faith. I didn't give attention to my girlfriend at the time. I didn't give attention to bettering myself, like as a human, as a young man. I was not setting myself up to be, a successful man. I was chasing one thing, and only one thing mattered at that time, was not only to be on the court, but to act like the guys who were on the court, which meant when we're not on the court, I'm doing what they're doing. Smoking weed in the house, ripping bongs on the weekend, going out to drink, liquor, idolizing and lusting over women. Things that were so uncharacteristic of me for the first 20 years of my life that just all in a 1.5 year span, I flipped on a head, and all I cared about was being the basketball type of person. And I'm not even going to say that's a basketball type of person, but there were people that were doing that in my circle, and I thought the only way I could get to where I wanted to go, which was a basketball player, was to act like them in all facets of my life.
No, absolutely. And that's tough, especially when you're pursuing a certain goal or dream. That's kind of the natural thing to do is, okay, look at the people who are there and let me try to replicate that. Even if it's good versus bad, like there's always going to be a mix of both. But I think that's super powerful and amazing to see and witness. And what I would say is I think a lot of people experience this where they grew up in something, right? They grew up in the faith, and then they kind of get this little bit of freedom, or something just changes, right? Something just happens and it just changes everything. Like they just kind of dive into the old ways that they had. Was there a time, like, did you think you truly like knew God during that time in your upbringing and then came to know him later? Like what kind of led to that change? Like obviously you said like you started to dive into the things of this world and kind of start living that way and left the old life that you grew up in. So what kind of brought you back and led you there?
Yeah. I think like we talked about earlier, the first thing is you got to become self-aware. You have to become self-aware with where you're at in life. And it's a process. It's not like one day I woke up and I'm like, this is wrong with me. This is wrong with me. I'm doing this wrong. It's like over time, you have to pursue that new version of yourself. You're like, okay, I just know something's off. That's the first thing. I'm like, okay, this is not what a successful person is going to do in their life, right? This is not how I'm going to raise my family. This is not a husband. This is not a man of God. This is not someone I can't go to church like this, you know? And we touched on this earlier, Paul. I was using my faith as like a coat, like a shield almost, because when I would feel not attacked, but when I would feel dragged down a bunch by the things I was doing, I'd put up this like shield, like, oh, I'd go to church one day, even though I haven't talked to God once the whole week or the whole month even. I would just like, oh, I'm going to go to church today. Oh, I'm better now. He forgives me for everything. And I can tell my friends I went to church, so I feel better about myself, and they think I'm this amazing person. Whole facade. Yeah. Whole facade. And I think a lot of people do that today. I know I was doing it, dude.
Yep.
And it took time, right? So that was going on for my second semester, my sophomore year, all the way through my junior year. I was lost, dude. So lost. And then senior year, I was fortunate to have two teammates of mine. I'm going to name drop PJ Hall and Hunter Tyson.
Let's go.
Both in the NBA now.
Wow.
Studs.
That's awesome.
They were the catalyst to our team on the court, and off the court, they were huge into their faith. They were not lustful. Both of them are engaged right now, actually. And they were practicing celibacy, or what's the other word for it?
Abstinence.
Abstinence,
I think.
abstinence
or
is the word.
celibacy, yeah. Celibacy. Or
either
not
way.
abstinence, celibacy.
It's celibacy.
Yeah.
Practicing celibacy. They're waiting till marriage.
Yep.
We started doing Bible studies over the summer before my senior year. And it was like, when you really start seeking out God in the Word, I think the Word's very powerful because it's a direct tool guide on how to be like Jesus. And when you start seeking out tools to be like Jesus, a man who didn't hate, a man of strictly love, you start to see changes in your life. So at that point, it's like, okay, I know right from wrong. I have the base of I need to be grateful for what I have. I have a great family. The least I can do now is try and emulate that life actually, as opposed to faking it. So it turned on its head then. And like throughout senior year, I became very involved in seeking out my faith and trying to pray more and encourage others. Graduated college, went to post-grad, got super involved in networking, trying to find a job. I was living at home for 6 or 7 months. 6, 7 months after graduation. And then I got a job in Boston working for a company called BlackRock. I don't think I can name drop that. It's okay. It's on here now.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can
we'll
let
cut
that.
it out.
No, we can let that slide. We can let that slide. I got a job at a company called BlackRock, which is a pretty big asset manager. Leave it at that. I moved to Boston, and again, I had made so much progress in getting back into my faith. I was reading the word a ton. I was with my mom and dad every day. Like, there were no distractions from me being able to lock into my faith. Like, there was nothing around me that was like left shoulder, like devil trying to tempt me. There were no temptations. There were no girls around in my small town in Dayton, Ohio to lust over. I had to hustle for a job because I didn't have any money. I was just so locked in at the moment. But the minute I got to Boston, it's like everything again, another flip. I hit rock bottom again, dude. At 23, bro. Like, you're 21. How old are you, Bryce?
23.
23. I'm 23 years old. And again, I fall on my face. I get a job. I make some money. All I care about, again, is going out, meeting girls, and smoking weed again with my buddy. Go ahead. You got a question?
Do you think that's like from your environment? Like, do you think because you were in a new environment, like in Boston, do you think like who you were surrounded with and just that environment in general, like kind of led you or encouraged you to like fall back again?
100%, dude. I preach you are who you surround yourself with. You become a product of your environment. If you don't seek out a good environment, you're not going to be what you think you're supposed to be. Now, Jesus would go into the dark and he would shine his light. I think that's important, but you can't be fully engulfed in something that's so dark because you'll become dark. The dark will consume you. And that's what happened up there. I was not in a good spot. I ended up having to move down to Atlanta for work. And I was really sad about it. But once I got down to Atlanta, that's my eyes kind of were open to a new life, right? And I think that was a crazy part of God's plan for me because Atlanta was never a spot I even wanted to go to. I never thought about Atlanta. I don't know anybody in Atlanta. I get there and immediately God gives me a community of hundreds of people chasing the Lord and chasing Christ. Literally at my fingertips.
No, it's amazing. And that's so important. It's so important. Like, even if you look at everyone's journeys, like a lot of times their spiritual journeys, it oftentimes involves like being in certain environments that just bring you astray. And obviously, yes, we have choices. We can make these decisions on our own. But like you said, your environment truly dictates who you are. And you witness that. Like, you were able to grow up in something, have your faith strong, then fall back in, then have it strong again. And oftentimes, like, I'm sure you can look back and it correlates to your environments. And that's why, like, it's so important that you just surround yourself with people who are going to elevate you and you maintain that. And especially, like, we need a level of spiritual maturity to be able to go into the darkness without falling into the darkness. So I think that's something that's super important. But something I want to touch back on too, because bro makes it D1. So what exactly was that journey? Like you said, like, you were putting your worth in your identity. You were honestly idolizing like basketball. Like, basketball was it. Like, this was everything to you. This was who you are. Kind of what led you to, like, when you got it, or how did you get there? And then when you got there, did you feel like good? Were you like, all right, wow, like, I did it. Everything I was working towards, like, everything's achieved. Like, now I'm fulfilled. Now I'm happy. Like, what kind of, take me through that journey of like getting on that team and kind of what led to all that?
Dude, I mean, it was the craziest. Like, I put in so many hours, so many days, weeks, months, years into that sport. Everything obviously leads up to, like, you start playing the game at a young age, and then you have all that experience growing up.
Yep.
I was actually supposed to go to Indiana on a preferred walk-on spot, and my old basketball coach, actually my assistant at the time, he called me down to the office to tell me that Indiana had called because I had sent them my resume, my film. So Indiana called. They wanted to know about Jack Nassif being a preferred walk-on at Indiana. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is happening.
Yeah, it's unreal.
He said, I told him what we both know, that you're not ready for that, and they should look for somebody else.
Wait, so your like coach or your mentor?
My head coach had just retired. The new assistant became the head coach. He answered the phone and told me that.
That's insane. That's horrible. So kind of what happened
Crushed.
from there? Like, yeah, was that just,
Crushed.
that's horrible.
Indiana's off the table at that point. For
So
me.
it was completely gone after
yeah,
that.
done.
Oh my gosh.
The basketball dream was, at least. So, and I was like, I kind of lost love for going there at that point. Go to Clemson, and
Just for school?
just
or
for
like,
school.
So you
I
weren't even
visited like
thinking
18
of basketball?
universities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basketball's always in my mind. I
Yeah.
just didn't know how it was going to become what it eventually was. I just knew I was going to get there.
Yeah.
So I get to Clemson, and like in the summer when I'm getting oriented, I go to talk to the director of basketball operations. I'm like, hey, like Matt Buckland, I want to be a walk-on. Like, how can I do that? He's like laughing in my face. He's like, you can't be a walk-on. He's like, maybe we can get you a manager spot. Maybe. He's like, who do you know? You have to know someone at these places. Even if you're really good, you got to know
At a
somebody.
big school like Clemson, I feel like you have to know someone to get your way in, like
Have to.
have a foot in the door.
Use your network. Your network's your net worth in this world. We were fortunate enough to be friends with the old Dayton basketball head coach. So Brian Gregory, friends with Brad Brownell. He dialed in a call. He's like, Jack's a great kid, great family, hard worker. He'd be an awesome manager. So got the manager position.
Let's go.
And then from there, my whole freshman year, I thought I was going to be in practice, like helping out, playing. Dude, I stood on the sidelines with a towel around my neck. And when people would fall down, I'd have to wipe up the sweat. I'd have to be a dummy in the drill with a bag. After practice, I'm doing the players' laundry. But before I'm doing the laundry, I have to sit and rebound them for an hour. Run around the gym, rebound them for them. Then do their laundry. Then I have to go home and do all my homework. Then I have to come back to the gym to work on my game for another 2 hours every single day.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So it's an all day, every day kind of thing, and you're not even getting any like fruit from it necessarily. Like you're doing a lot of the dirty work. It sounds like.
Zero. All I have at that point is a long distance girlfriend. We had been on breaks on and off. I have no friends at school besides a certain few because I wasn't in a frat. You can't do anything in college unless you're in a fraternity.
Can't get into parties.
Can't get into
even
parties.
if you wanted to.
Even if you wanted to, right? So I'm in the dorm. Like, I'm drinking with the fellas, but it was never anything like crazy. Like, we were just dumb little freshmen. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
and all I would care about was basketball. Going to sophomore, and then COVID hits at the end of my freshman year. So go home, whatever, work on basketball at home, get back to college in that summer, and no one's on campus. I'm doing the same thing again. Rebounding, laundry, practice my game. Rebound, laundry, practice my game. On rinse and repeat. And it gets to like a year and a half. We get to September, so we're back on campus now. And I had started lifting weights. I was super small. I grew like 2 inches my freshman year going into sophomore year. Lifted a ton of weights, got strong. Get there, I'm like, first drill that they say, I just insert myself. I didn't even care for like, normally coach would be like, oh, scout team get in, like Wells go here, O'Neal go here. Like Jack just jumped into a drill to play defense. No one said a word. And from that point on, dude, it was like every practice I had a chance to hop in a drill. I'm going 1,000%, like little pest. And these guys are 4-stars, 5-star athletes. When they have like a little manager in there, like actually messing up plays and like annoying them, it's going to go noticed. So over time, like I got better and better. And the coach was like, okay, Jack's good at defense. Jack can handle the ball. Jack is going to listen. He remembers plays. So then Jack became a scout player, and Jack's now on scout team for a majority of sophomore year. And you have to memorize your plays. You still have to do the laundry. You still have to do everything. But on top of that, now I'm in practice. So you're a full-time athlete, walk on at that point with the managing stuff, with school and with class, with your struggling relationship with your girlfriend, with no friends at college. It was a really tough life, really tough life. And it molded me and it humbled me truly. Like, I am super humbled, and I will never, ever be a bully because of this. Like, I was bullied significantly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when it comes to walk-ons, like that's the
I'm not
classic.
even a
like-
walk-on at this point. Still
So
a
yeah, I
manager.
know. So, but even when you're in that pursuit, like people do not like that. You know, I mean, like you're saying, you're being a pest in practice, like working harder than everyone
And
else,
there's
showing people.
nothing
Up.
to show for it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the most brutal thing ever. And I could see, just imagine myself in your shoes there, and kind of see just like how much pressure and how much just isolation it almost must have felt like, of just like no one, because you can't really fully relate to the kids on the team because they're in a higher position. They probably see themselves
They
as
don't want
higher
to hang
than you.
out with you.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to hang out with you. Then you're like, your full focus is on this because you don't have time for anything else. And then your friends at home, your relationship, like everything kind of feels like it's going downhill in that way. And then you're kind of questioning, like, for what?
For what?
Like, for what? Like, what if I don't even make it? Like, you're doing all of this, risking all of this just to potentially not even have any proof for it and just have nothing, which is admirable. You know what I mean? Like, that takes a lot of courage to be able to, and self-belief to just go in and be like, I'm going to do this and I'm just going to work as hard as I can, even if I'm losing a lot of things, even if it doesn't work out, but like just going for it. So that's admirable. That's respect.
Thanks. Thank you.
And what would you say, like during this time, like what kept your faith and belief so strong? Like, why did you keep doing this? It's what, a year and a half, 2 years at this point. You're doing laundry and you're trying to manage everything, relationships, school. Like, what kept you going? Like, how were you able to still have that belief and see the light at the end of the tunnel?
That's all I cared about, dude. That's like I told you guys. And I think for anything, if you're so set on something becoming reality, it will. If you are so set on something happening, you will go to whatever it takes to make it happen.
So real.
Or die trying. Like, I think it's very powerful, like self-manifestation of prayer. Except I wasn't praying on, dude. Honestly, and this is up for debate, low-key, that could have been like selling my soul, in a sense.
It's like the difference between like manifestation and like bringing God into manifestation or prayer in that way.
If you're doing things that are going to get you somewhere but not in the glory of God, I think that can be selling your soul and like worshiping the wrong God. Some people pray for things, but literally they're praying to demons sometimes as opposed to God, because if it's not glorifying God, then you're not talking to God, you're not praying for God.
No, absolutely. And if it's not for God, who is
Why
it
you
for?
doing it?
Yeah,
Who
like
you
who is it
doing it
for in that
Yeah.
way? And anything glorifying ourselves is what the devil wants. Like the devil
Mhm.
wants us to serve our flesh, to serve our own selves, where God wants us to serve him. You know what I mean? To do everything for his glory. So that's
where
amazing.
I was, man.
Yeah.
That's where it was. I ended up getting on the team. The way it happened was my dad, school had ended my sophomore year now, and season was over. It's like, dang, like, didn't make it. Like, I have 2 more years left of school. My dad's like, you got to call the head coach and tell me you want to play. I'm like, no. Like, I'm terrified. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, he knows I'm good. He knows I've been trying hard. He's put me in practice. Like, he's going to just tell me. He's like, you don't get things handed to you in life. Like, you have to go ask and get them. So I didn't do exactly that. I texted our director of basketball operations, like, hey, Matt, like, I want to be on the team. Like, I want to play. And he's like, go get Brian Gregory to help you out. Like, I'm like, okay. And so Gregory was like, hey, like, calls him. I don't know what was said on the phone call. Didn't really work, but like just seeing his name again probably helped. But when I got back to campus, like when I got back there in that environment in the summer, because I didn't have summers in college because I had to be on campus helping with the basketball team.
Wow.
So I went back, and in person, I was like, hey, like, I want to play on the team. Like, I want to be a walk-on, or else I'm probably not going to manage again. Like, you got to put me on the jersey or I'm leaving. And he was like, okay, like, let's do it.
Let's go.
And it was like, oh my gosh. Like, he sat me in his office with another kid. Very important to mention, my buddy Devin Foster. One other guy went through the entire transformation with me, from manager to walk-on, the whole thing.
Wow.
Devin. So he lives in Boston now. We both went up to him and we both got sat in his office. He told us we were both gonna be on the team. And it was like a dream come true right there, dude. It felt very fulfilling. It was a lot of hard work put in, and when you get that, it's awesome. But like I said earlier, dude, that's when, again, like, it flipped on its side. My ego I was an egomaniac at that point. I'm like, I'm the most important. I'm so cool. I wasn't, dude. I literally started ignoring my girlfriend at that point, and she called me crying one day. And this is like a week and a half after I got on the team. She called me crying, and she was at her college, and she was doing a sorority recruitment or something. So she was a sophomore, I was a junior at this point. And she was like, just like, I need you. Like, you've been so absent in my life, in our relationship. I need your help. And I'm listening to her, and I was so out of touch with myself and what it meant to be a good human that I kind of just like brushed it off. I'm like, I'm so out of love. Like, I don't care about anything else anymore besides myself and basketball. It hurts me to say all this, dude, because I look back on it and I'm like, wow, like, how could I ever treat someone so poorly? Let alone someone you're supposed to love, right? My first girlfriend, like, we dated for 4.5 years. It was an awesome girl, awesome family. And I just kind of brushed her off, like, just basically said, good luck. Like, and then we broke up on FaceTime after 4.5 years. Oh my gosh. Haven't seen her since.
Yeah. No, I mean,
just ridiculous how much of a pit I was in.
And I mean, that's, first of all, that takes a lot of courage to even be able to, like, first of all, accountability to be able to express, like, hey, listen, I messed up here, and this isn't who I am, but this is what I did during that time, and this is why I did that. Like, that takes a lot of self-accountability and reflection and maturity and growth to be able to acknowledge that. And obviously, we learn from all of our mistakes. You know what I mean? We learn from the different difficulties in our life. But yeah, what I would say is you just went through all of that, right? You're feeling on top of the world probably right now. So was there a point where that kind of fell off, where it was like, what am I? Is this what God has for me? Or like, where was the turning point in that way? Or was it kind of all uphill from there? All right, y'all. Sorry to interrupt you guys in the podcast, but we are here to tell you guys about Upspace. Because if you guys don't have Upspace by now, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Upspace is an app that's literally designed to level up your health. I think it's an app that everyone should be on. It's just full of content that's actually good for your health and designed to help you level up. There's workouts, recipes, and educational content from hundreds of health creators, including myself and Paul. And so if you're not on Upspace, definitely check it out.
When you look at most cookbooks that creators sell, they often sell a cookbook for like $50+. And in Upspace, the whole design of the Upspace app is to make being healthy affordable to everyone. So not only can you get Bryce and I's cookbooks, workouts, and daily educational content, just educating you guys on how you can eat and live how God designed us, but you also can get hundreds more cookbooks, workout programs, and just so many activities, so much value in this app, all for $36 for the entire year. And that's literally what the design of this app is to make it affordable for everyone. And right now, this is a limited time deal that they're doing this. So if you want to tap in and fight against these corporations, which is the whole goal of this, and to level up your health in any aspect, download the Upspace app today.
To be honest with you guys, like, I think people like to talk about a big turning point, whether it's that senior week or you have a near-death experience. I don't remember an exact moment where it was like, I need to change my life, or here's God talking to me right now. It was a gradual thing. It did not happen instantly. Like, I'm 25 right now. I'm old. I'm old compared to you guys. UNC, Unk.
They're still old compared to Paul's.
I'm just 19, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually wild. Yeah.
Crazy. Like, I am so old compared to, you guys inspire me, and you guys are younger. Like, Luke, you, Bryce, you guys are so inspiring, and the fact that you're so many years behind me, I'm like, the runway is limitless. So I'm inspired, and you guys bring me so much life. Knowing you have years on me, like where I was messing up, you're so ahead of the curve. That's what I want for everybody else who's 16, 15, like hitting this point in their life where they're going to have a choice, right, to make of, two roads diverge, right? The wide path, the narrow path. And back to your question though, like, when was that moment? There wasn't one. But it was a nasty junior year of how I was acting, smoking, drinking, lusting. Senior year, it got a little better. And then went to Boston, like I said, after post-grad, and Boston was bad. Go to Atlanta, get surrounded by that community. And then it's like, okay, let's be self-aware here. You thrive on energy of other people, right? You love people. Surround yourself with good people. I knew that had to happen. Separate and break ties and accept the fact that some people in your life aren't going to be there that used to be in your life. And you talked about that earlier. Like, people in high school, you just think they're going to be your best friends forever, right? And I have some great high school friends, awesome high school friends. I love them. But if you're trying to go somewhere in life, sometimes you have to leave behind other people in your life. Leave behind your old self. Like, you are becoming someone new. In order to do that, you have to actually change. You have to change mindset. You have to change spiritually, mentally, physically. Everything has to change if you want to become a new person. So it was just a gradual change. It was the constant everyday pursuing that new person, pursuing God. It was like, okay, if I only pray once a week or twice a week, like, that's not enough. How much was I practicing basketball every day? Every single day for hours on end. That was the only reason I got there. If I wanted to become strong in my faith, if I wanted to have a true relationship with God, I had to focus on him every day like I was basketball. Like, 15 minutes a day is not even going to be enough. You need minimum an hour, minimum, dedicated to your relationship with God, whether it's prayer, whether it's, studying the word, whether it is going to church or talking about it in Bible study or a small group. I think it's so important time doing the action. It's not just going to happen overnight. And that's what it's been then. So, like, for the past year and a half since I got to Atlanta, it's just been that everyday, like, constant pursuit of the Lord.
I love that. And what like got you into content? Like, did you just get inspired by someone, or what was your kind of journey with that? Like, what got you into that to start posting in the first place?
My content journey is so much different than a lot of folks, man. In college, and you can, probably guess, dude, I was just like doing dances, like trying to be cool, trying to chase clout.
Yep.
Didn't care about the content. I'm like, I'm trying to go viral today. Lame. Didn't work. Then I don't really post anymore. I go to Boston. I start posting again. And nothing's working. It's just me, like, hanging around the city, like, doing the real random TikToks with trendy sounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't really have a plan with content. See people that are famous, like, I want to be like that. All it takes is a few viral videos, and I'm there.
exactly.
Like, that's all it takes. I just
Yeah.
got to post a few viral videos, and I'm going to be like that. And I'm going to be best friends with Paul Ziegler and Alex Earl, whoever.
Alex Earl. is
Who knows? Just random names, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the 2 weeks, but once I realized I was going to Atlanta, 2 weeks before I left, I posted a video of talking about like the pros and cons to South Boston, like where I lived at the time. Like, here are my favorite restaurants. Here's the parking scene. Here's the beach. Like, and it got like 60,000 views and a bunch of comments. I'm like, it was a bunch of hate, but like, I'm like, this got a bunch of views.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so community. Like, I know why. I'm like, that's my first, like, okay, I know why this went viral. I posted something about the city of Boston, and all Boston people are commenting on it. So for the next 2 weeks before I left, I farmed Boston content. Here's my favorite restaurant. Here's my favorite church. Here's where I'll go hang out. Here's where I met friends. Here's where you go out and do this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
XYZ. I was anywhere I went in Boston before I left, in a 2 week span, everybody knew me. That was on TikTok.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It was ridiculous. Ridiculous. So then I go down to Atlanta, and on the way down, I'm like, hey, I'm coming down to Atlanta, everybody. Like, make a TikTok, get down to Atlanta. And it's me doing the Boston thing, but like from a first like time point of view. So it's like, here's my first,
the city and stuff.
learn the city, but I don't know anything about the city. So like my first week, wherever I'd go, I'd be like, hey, like, don't know if y'all have heard of this place. I'm at Neighbors, and I got this Caesar salad.
Yeah.
Super spicy. Y'all got to come try it out. Like, 1 million views.
Wow.
Everyone in the greater Atlanta area saw it. Within a month of moving to Atlanta, I was on the field at Falcons games, like with Bijan Robinson. I was getting invited to Hawks games. I was going out to every single Atlanta event. I was there because all my content was posting coffee shops or the run club I was going to or the church I was going to, the Bible studies, and then the occasional, like once a week, it'd be a day in the life. But that was not the content I was posting at all. This is all like from early September to Christmas, or not before Christmas, like early September to November of last year. I was in a 3-month span, like extremely viral in the city of Atlanta.
So you're just popping off at this point with Atlanta content. So you're getting invited to football games and like different stuff of that nature. Like, that's insane. That's
Everything.
awesome.
Concert, anywhere I wanted to go to in Atlanta, I'd go to for free.
That's incredible.
Went to Chicago for like a weekend and took the same approach. Like, here I'm in Chicago doing this. Chicago audience gravitate to it. So if you're looking to do content and you're strictly, I was doing because I was having fun, like exploring Atlanta. But if you are looking for a way to go like get followers, dude, start posting about your city. Because one thing that the algorithm knows is your location and what people want to see. Everyone goes to the same restaurants. Everyone goes to the same venues. People of all ages too. Like adults, maybe they went there 20 years ago. A bunch of my comments like, oh my gosh, he's at Dark Horse. Like, I went to Dark Horse when I was 18. Like, this is crazy. So posting things about your community, like that will definitely draw attention.
No, absolutely. No,
Was
that's
there anything from basketball that you took into posting on content, like anything that helps you stay consistent or anything like do you think you learned any lessons from basketball or just life prior to starting like posting on content that like helps you?
I mean, yeah, it's a grind, dude. Everything, it takes time and effort. But again, dude, even to this point, it's like not even for the glory of God. Just going back to that too, because I don't want to lose that point, because this whole time I'm posting everything in Atlanta, I am focused on God. I am going to my Bible studies. I'm really in constant pursuit. I'm posting about him occasionally. Not everything is to glorify him at this point, though. I'm still just posting this for the fun of it, and like I knew the audience liked it, but everything wasn't for the glory of God. And that is the number one motivator. It should be, right? We'll get there. But at this point, dude, it was just like the love of the game. You're getting followers, you're getting views. It's like, I want to stay on top. I want to keep this momentum going. And that's kind of how I think that's kind of how it starts for most people at first, when they don't have a true vision and like purpose and calling for their content. It's just like, okay, I see followers. I see opportunity coming from this. Let me just act on what's working. Momentum, just on the topic of that, it can, if you feel in a rut, and I tell this to people all the time, like if you're in a rut mentally, physically, you don't know where to go. You're just like, so I'm pooped.
Hmm.
Get up and move. Walking, push-ups, talking to someone on the phone. Just move. That's momentum right there.
100%.
That's momentum. Then that will lead to something else, whether that's you picking up your hat off the floor in your bedroom.
Mm.
That's a task complete. Boom. Next thing you do. And it's what's the effect? Snowball effect.
Yeah, snowball effect.
Snowball effect,
100%.
dude. Things just start to happen for you.
Mm.
So that's
No, 100%. And even just like with your walk with the Lord in general, like it's not a just linear journey. Like you're always going to have roadblocks. You're going to have seasons like even that you described within your testimony where it's higher and it's higher and then it's lower. It's going to have these ups and downs. And I think that's important. Like always just keep going. Like that's the answer. Is just always continue to seek the Lord, even if it's you don't feel him as much right now, or even if you've fallen off, like just continue to seek him, because the moment that you stop moving, the moment that you stop seeking him is when everything starts to collapse and kind of take over. But something that I actually wanted to ask you about, and I think is important. Obviously, you were saying like you're posting all this content geared towards people in your specific location and area, and I think that can obviously be great because there's so many people in your area that know who you are. But also that comes with pros and cons. Not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone's gonna like I mean, some people are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna love it. Some people, a lot of people have projections, and especially like we've been seeing like even just recent stuff like coming out. What is your mindset between like the hate and different things like that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's good now that I'm past that point, because at the time, dude, I was so confused. I didn't understand the content I was putting out and who it was going to and why I was getting told these certain things. I think if you're posting anything, you need to be convicted in what you're posting. You need to believe 100% in what you're posting to back it up, right? I wasn't doing that. I was posting restaurants that I didn't care about. I just knew if I posted an Atlanta spot, it would get views, right? So you would get backlash on your opinion from the Atlanta locals. Rightfully so. The internet is an open form of controversy.
Right.
It is full on controversy out there, dude. So I post a video about an Atlanta restaurant, and people from all different backgrounds, all different beliefs, everyone is seeing that, all ages. So someone that sees it, right, they're like, okay, this kid does not look like me. He's not from here. I'm going to go figure out who he is and expose him for him saying this about this restaurant. So like I went to a Middle Eastern restaurant that's right next to my office one day for lunch. I grabbed a chicken shawarma. I took a video on it, said it was really good. Bang, that was it.
Yeah.
Didn't even know if anyone knew the restaurant, nothing.
Yeah.
Immediately, or not immediately, like the day later, the video had like 120,000 views, tons of comments. I'm like, okay, we got another one that popped off.
Yeah.
And then there's also like, oh, Jack, you're mentioned. Open this video and it's some girl in Atlanta, complete entire hate video on me.
What?
This kid, Jack Nassif, your token Atlanta white boy, or he's Puerto Rican and he's Paraguayan and he's Lebanese, but only when he thinks it'll benefit him. He works here. He went to this restaurant because it supports Israel. He's a Zionist.
Oh my.
I hate this guy. We all should hate him. We need him out of our city. He is a problem. Next thing you know, my videos, dude, it's like, we're going to jump this kid. Keep posting your timestamps on your day in their lives. We're going to come jump you. Get another hate video on my birthday of this year in May. Like, this is more recent. It's like, I hate this guy's content. He keeps posting these videos about Atlanta spots. It's all whitewashed. He's racist. He's not supporting the culture of Atlanta. Dude, I was in such a dark place from all of this. Like, there was a lot of good coming from it. People loved seeing me explore the city. But then there were others, people, like, just trying to exploit me for no reason. Just out of just, like, they were trying to paint a picture because they saw someone receiving success in a city. But they were like, we don't like him up here. Let's just bring him down. And that happens with you, I'm sure, too. Like, any sort of success, people envy that, and they're going to come after you. But for me, personally, I was not convicted. Like, I didn't really have a lot of attachment to these Atlanta restaurants and stuff. I was doing it for the view, so I wasn't even, like, trying to back it up. Next thing you know, I have people coming after me, my family, my character, my love for the Lord. Like, they were coming after my faith. Like, this man is not a man of God because of where I work, because I go to this restaurant, because I do this. We don't see black people in his content. He's racist.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was so overwhelming. I broke down and cried so much on my birthday. I was in tears on my birthday of this year as a 25-year-old dude.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's real. Like, people don't understand, like, most of these comments, like, you'll see comments on a day-to-day basis that most people will never hear in their lifetime. You know what I mean? Of people attacking you or saying horrible things. And obviously, when people are behind a screen, They can say the
easy.
craziest things ever, like things that they would never say in person. So these things hurt, you know what I mean? Like you feel it for sure, and it's definitely a battle. So like, how do you think you kind of dealt with that? Like obviously, like even continual hate, whatever it is, like how do you deal with the hate, and what kind of keeps you pushing forward despite that?
Yeah. I think everything that was set up to this point kind of leads to now. Everything I just said, May, I'm crying on my birthday as a 25-year-old man. At that point, that was kind of a cry out to God moment. I didn't know what was happening. I was scared. I talked to Higher Up Wellness, Michael Smoke, about it, who's my best friend, obviously an amazing mentor. I'm like, to me, I'm not like idolizing him as God, but it's like if he thinks this highly of me, like, why can't I think this highly of myself? Like, this dude is like the guy for a lot of people out there. He was that guy for me, and now he's like my mentor in life, right? He called me that day on my birthday. He's like, dude, I saw the girl's video. I saw that guy's video. Don't think about that. He's like, you're so much bigger than what they're saying. And then he posted a video, like little old Jack. I don't even have an Instagram page at this point. I had an Instagram page that was like 2,000 followers, maybe 3,000 followers. Like Jack Stay in the Life was made on March 7th of this year.
So it was a separate account.
Oh. I had it on my normal account, right? But it was like just family, friends, not really many followers. And then the TikTok was at like 60,000 or something on my birthday at this point. Michael Smoke made a video on Instagram and TikTok like saying, do not come after Jack Nassif. Like, I am standing up for Jack Nassif. I was like, wow. Like, that is huge. Like, there's no way that just happened. So now I have like an amazing person in my life, right? This is where I'm like, I come down to Atlanta and I get brought a community of people like that are centered around Christ. I get gifted these friends that are going to stand up for me publicly on the internet. And I get dragged all the way to the bottom again, mentally, spiritually, physically. I'm feeling like the worst ever. I cry out to God at this point. He's like, dude, just pray on it. Ask God. So that's when I was like, God, what do I do? What do I do? And I kept getting drawn back to, I love people. Every day I go out, and whether the camera's on or not, dude, I'm high-fiving folks. I'm like, let's go. You're a beast. Person at the coffee shop, I'm like, you are awesome. You rock. Giving off as much good energy everywhere I go. I'm like, I need to show people this is like real. Like this needs to be out in the world. People need to spread love everywhere they go. And through a phone, dude, it can look fake. People trying to do that. I try my absolute best every day. From that day on my birthday, I'm like, I'm going to bring my energy to everybody out there. So that's kind of when I was like, I'm going all in on the day in the life stuff and showcasing my love for God's creation of this earth and all the people he's made, as opposed to, you know, highlighting restaurants. Like, that's when it was a content shift. I was always that way as a young man. But this was like idolized in a way. So if I wasn't getting performance, or if people weren't like enjoying me on here, that was affecting me here because I wasn't mind, heart, and soul on God. Once I was aligned with God and myself, things in the past 7 months since my birthday where that breakdown happened have never been sweeter, dude. Seriously, I've felt so fulfilled in my day-to-day life. I have felt so happy getting up every day, because even if you wake up and you don't feel physically well or mentally well, one, back to what I said in the very beginning, grateful to wake up. Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up.
Amen.
That's how I start every single day. First person I see, I tell them they're awesome. You're a beast. Every first person I see walking out the door, whether it's my roommate for sure, but then walking out the door, like kids going to school or just someone standing there, I'm like, hey, have a great day. Bang, high five. Immediately. No matter how I'm feeling, that action right there, that will immediately make your day better. That's your momentum. That's your snowball.
100%. 100%.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, like that's it. Like it's the power of little actions like that. Like even if you're not feeling your best, like you said, like you have control over how you feel to a certain degree. Like you can do things that will make you feel better. Like we said earlier, doing push-ups, going for a walk, going for a run, giving someone a high five, giving someone a compliment. Like that makes you feel good inside. And circling back just a little bit, I love how Higher Up Wellness made that video on TikTok and Instagram, like supporting you. It just goes to show the power of someone else believing in you and someone else like being there for you. And I've experienced that too. Like Paul, you helped me like with my content and just like having someone who you can like look up to, or someone who believes in you. Because sometimes we need someone to believe in us, and it takes one person, and we can just use that. And so I try to take that as a reminder that we can be that someone for other people, for anyone who is watching, or just anyone out on the street. Like, we can be that light. We can be that positive energy for someone that they need to make positive change in their life. So it's so powerful, just what one person could do, or one action, or one habit. So.
And that's what it seems like it did for you. Like the fact that, and I think you often see this, like you had a choice, right? You had a choice when you're receiving all this hate, all this persecution for following the path that you think God's calling you to, or just trying to be positive and spread a light. You have a choice in that situation. You can either allow you to become like a hateful, resentful person, which is very easy to do when you're getting persecuted, when people are constantly crapping on you. Like, it's so easy to fall into that trap and to become the people who are persecuting you. But you chose the other route. You chose to take, okay, I'm getting persecution, but no, I'm actually going to spread a light. I'm actually going to spread what I wish people would give me right now. You know what I mean? I'm sure you feel that in that way of like just spreading positivity. And bro, you can absolutely feel it in your content. Like, bro, it's actually incredible. Like, it gets you fired up. It's like, life ain't so bad, you know what I mean? Like, and that's incredible. And like you said, like, there's no fakeness, because at the end of the day, every single day, either we have an off day, whatever else, we have a choice to be positive that day or to not. There's not anything controlling us, preventing us from smiling, no matter if the worst thing in our life is happening. And it's inspiring to see someone who gets up and chooses to be a light, to chooses to spread positivity, even if, as you always will, and everyone always will, have bad days. You know, I mean, even through those difficult days, you show people that you can still stay positive and spread light and hope, and that instead of responding to this anger and hate that you're receiving, or anyone's receiving, instead of becoming them, you can be a light for them. And I think that's impacting way more people than you know. So keep it up, bro.
Thank you. I'm no psychiatrist. I don't even know if that's, what's your opinion on that, actually?
Psychiatry?
Like psychology.
Psychology?
Yeah, psychology and like therapies, like
Yeah.
or not therapy, just psychology in general. Because, you know, people say like it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to be angry, like feel your emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the case for some people. I don't know. I'm a human, right? I feel those emotions. Everyone feels those emotions. I get sad. I become upset. You know, I think Jesus was love. Always.
Amen. Absolutely.
Did things hurt Jesus? For sure.
Mm.
For sure. When his disciples turned against him, was he hurt? When Judas turned against him, was he hurt? 100%. But even through that, guess what? Love radiated from this man.
Mm.
The Bible, our faith, teaches us to live a life like Jesus, which is love. If I can wake up every day and choose love, wherever else I feel in life, if I did that, I know I'm doing what I'm called to do.
Amen, bro. Amen. No, that's so true. And obviously, like, Jesus felt all emotions. He wept, he cried, he did all this. But at the end of the day, he didn't allow his emotion to dictate how he treated others. And I think that's like a powerful thing that you're an example of in that way of just, even if you're feeling sad one day, something's going on in your life, you're still going to be a light and spread love, which you described it perfectly. That is literally what embodies Jesus and his teachings, is all about love. And so I think that's beautiful, bro.
Thank you, man.
Let's go.
Absolutely. And that's what we need to do. Like, we have a choice at the end of the day. Every day that we wake up, we have a choice with the food we put in our bodies, how we treat other people, how we take care of ourselves, or choose not to take care of ourselves, and the attitude that we go into the world with. And just, like, sometimes just knowing that you can be the light for someone else, and knowing that you can change someone's life just by your own attitude or your own actions, like, that is just all the more reason to keep going and to try to live like Jesus does, with love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, love is the answer to everything. Like, I truly believe that. Like, even during the worst times, most difficult times, like, love is always the answer. So
100%. And like you said earlier too, Paul, it's like, as Christians, as human beings, we fail. We're not perfect. Jesus was perfect. We're not. When we get to the cross ourselves, when we're facing the Lord, he died on a cross for our sins, right? If you have no sins to present, if you're not sure of your fault, then what did he die for? Everyone's going to have sins to bring to the table. Everyone has faults to bring to the table. Let them be seen. And that is where Jesus Christ saves you.
Mm-hmm.
We're all hypocrites. We all preach something, like you said. I'm stealing that from you. That's so good. We're all hypocrites of our own word. We all profess what we want to profess, what we believe in, which might be true, but we all, as men, will fail. What you are called to do as men is profess your sins, and that's when Jesus dying on the cross saves you and brings you everlasting life.
Amen. And then that's how you can, once you experience God's love in that way and his grace, knowing that we're all hypocrites, knowing that we fail him every single day, yet he still chooses to love us. That's where you can actually start. Once you experience that love, that's when you can actually go out and try to spread that to others. If you haven't experienced that or felt that, you can't really want or desire to like give that back to the world. And that's what we're called to do. Like as Christians is to understand the grace that God has given us and to feel the love and try to love God the best way that we possibly can and feel his love the best we possibly can, and then go out and spread that love to as many people as possible. And I think you're embodying that. So,
and not only just like, yes, feeling the love, just to just add on to that, you need to be able to forgive yourself, because if Jesus forgives you, you're forgiven. You are forgiven. You can move on. You can move past any fault you've had in your life. And there's times back in my past where like I would ask for forgiveness, God would forgive me, Jesus forgive me, but I would still let that hold me back from moving forward into this new light. You need to be able to understand that once Jesus accepts you, once you come to Jesus with your sins, you are freed. You're freed, and you can go be the best version of yourself. It's super strong stuff, man. It really is.
100%.
And what a gift that is to know that our sins are forgiven. And what a gift it is to know that we can fail, we can mess up, we can make mistakes, and we will, and we do each and every day. And that we are still loved. We still have a God that loves us. Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Like that. It's just beautiful.
Forgiveness is such a great thing. Not only for yourself, but for others. I don't hold grudges. Jesus didn't hold grudges. You should not hold a grudge. Someone does you wrong, someone stabs you in the back. What is it? You get hit on the right cheek, you turn and give them your left. I don't have any animosity towards anybody. I have been done wrong. I'm sure you have too. I will still treat that person with love. There's no one on this planet I won't treat with love. Even the worst of the worst. Because I think if you give that love out to the world, eventually they're going to give love back. I believe that. If there's enough love spread, the love will be received back.
100%. Responding to hate with love. I think it's the most powerful.
Genuine, though. It can't
genuine.
be fake. And
Genuine.
it is genuine with me, dude.
Yeah.
I try to see the best in every human possible. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I'm a very liberal-minded Christian. So, I mean, I'm Catholic, but we're all chasing the same Lord. We're all chasing Jesus. I'm a very liberal-minded Christian, though. And what I mean by that is I will go out into the world to bring my love everywhere I go. I'm very welcoming of whoever, every background, every age, every demographic, because it's not my place to judge anybody. It's not my place. It's my place to give as much love and smiling and positivity as I can. I'm not God. That's the only one that can judge. Other people feel like they are in power to say, you're wrong. And that's where I hate politics, because it's a lot of he said, she said, you're wrong.
Yep.
Instead of trying to be, I mean, there's so many rules. The world's a messed up place, but just spreading love is the number one thing we can all do, because it will be received, and there's no other, we have no other thing that we are able to do.
Yep. Yeah, it's the most powerful thing that we can do. And like you said, like, it's so funny because everything ties back to love. Forgiveness is love. Patience is love. Kindness is love. Like, love is what unifies all of these different character traits. Like, anything that's positive, love is what unifies all of them. So if we just seek love, that's the best way to go about it. That's what you're doing. So,
And love is Jesus.
Love is Jesus. Jesus is love. So that's what we should be seeking. And yeah, you've been a great example of that. So keep it up, bro. And yeah, just keep going. And yeah, I guess to end it off, like, do you have anything you'd like to leave with the people? Any last final message?
Any final message? That's tough, man. I've touched on a lot of things I wanted to touch on here. Dude, if you are struggling in any facet of life, it's always going to come back to Jesus, and he will bring you out of any hole you're in. If you're scared, if you're lost, if you're confused, if you have been in and out of your relationship with Jesus and you don't feel like he wants you back, I promise you he does. Jesus will always welcome you back. Seek him out. Go find him. Ask him for help. Get on your knees and beg for help. He will deliver you answers, and he will bring you out of that hole. Be obedient to God, and be obedient fast. When you're obedient fast, God will deliver you everything you're looking for in this world. And then spread love, man. Seriously, spread love, spread a smile. Be yourself. Everyone in this world has a gift, a unique gift given to them by God. Act on that gift. Don't be dormant in your own personality that God gave you. because your personality will become lost. Practice and exercise yourself publicly, privately, everywhere, or else you're going to lose yourself. Find yourself, go be yourself, and spread love, guys.
Amen.
Amen.
Let's go.
Amen.
No, I love that. Well, thank you for being on.
Of course.
It's
Thank
great.
you guys.
Great getting to
Seriously, it's
know you.
awesome.
Let's go. Alrighty, y'all. Well, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next one. But together, let's save our generation, and always remember, Jesus got you. See you guys. Let's go.